They are like acting the heck out of this. I'm covered in goosebumps. I don't even know this group and I'm like, yes, I'm here for all of it. Hello, my lovely, beautiful Claire Bears. It's Elsie. Welcome to my channel. If you are new and if you're returning, welcome back. There are a lot of things that happened in 2020 that I'm sure we all want to forget, so I'm not going to remind you of what those things are. But something that did happen in 2020 is that a lot of amazing ass K-pop came out. Some of my favorite K-pop songs of all time came out in 2020, and maybe I'll discover some of my new favorite K-pop songs of all time today, as I'm going to be doing a deep dive into the top K-pop songs of 2020 as determined by critics, and as a continuation of my series where I covered the best K-pop songs of 2022 and 2021. If you've seen those videos, you can skip the next section of my video because I will be reviewing my methodology that helped me determine which songs were the quote-unquote best of 2020. Then after that, I'll be reacting to the top 11 songs of 2020 in reverse order, going up to number 6 for this video. Yes, it's 11 and not 10 because there was a tie. I'll only be reacting to songs or content that I haven't seen before, so in the case of the songs that I have heard and seen everything around that particular song, I'll still be providing some thoughts. And then in part 2, which will be coming later next week, I'll provide a complete retrospective of my top 10 K-pop songs of 2020, and who knows, it might include some of the songs I listened to today. So let's get into the video, but before we do, please don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoy it and subscribe to my channel. In order to determine what the quote-unquote best songs of 2020 were, I had to get as accurate and as objective of a measurement of quality as possible. So I decided to aggregate the rankings of 10 different publications, that being magazines, blogs, or websites that cover music or K-pop specifically. I've put the names of those publications on the screen as well as the articles in the description if you want to check those out. The publications needed to provide numbered rankings, so it couldn't just be a list in no particular order. However, each list ranged from as few as 10 songs to as many as 100 songs. So if I made the list by just average ranking alone, that would not work. So my first piece of data that I used to create an overall ranking was how many times did a song show up across all 10 lists. Then number 2 was what was the average ranking for each time that song showed up. So the order was first sorted by the most number of appearances, then by the highest average ranking to break the tie between songs. For example, there were 2 songs tied for second place since they appeared on 9 out of 10 lists. So to break the tie, the average ranking of each song was used. So the song with the highest average ranking was song 2 with an average of 4.2. So it ultimately came second, and then song 3 with an average ranking of 8.7 came third. Once all 10 lists were tallied, 161 songs came up on the list and a top 11 emerged. If you'd like to see the complete list of songs and you're dying to know right now what was in the top 5 and you can't wait until next week, I've put the Google Doc of the list in the description, and I also built a Spotify playlist if you'd like to go stream that. But in order to condense it a little bit, I made it 77 songs, so that being the only songs that appeared twice or more. So to start us off today at number 11, we have Lovesick Girls by Blackpink. So 6 out of the 10 publications had Lovesick Girls on their lists, with the highest ranking being by Celebmix at number 3, who said, known for their confident, bold, and overwhelmingly badass concepts, Lovesick Girls is the complete 180 from the Blackpink sound we all know and we're obsessed with. Co-written by Jisoo and Jennie, who also helped to compose it, the early 2010s pop sound is exactly the concept Blackpink needed to try, and the results were flawless. I'm decently familiar with Blackpink's title tracks, but this is not one of them. It might be one of those things where once I actually hear the song, I go, oh, and it's a song I knew but didn't realize was by Blackpink. We'll have to see. I've never heard a Blackpink song and thought, oh, I don't like this. I just never kind of got into them because there's been so many other groups that I've been getting into. So when I saw that this song was at number 11 on this list, I thought, oh, perfect. What a perfect way to listen to some more Blackpink. And the early 2010s was a pretty nostalgic time for me. It'll bring back all those memories of university, all those fun times that were had. And speaking of fun times had, I can't forget to bring up my beverage of the day for today's video, which is a lime bubbly with a little splash of vodka that I can barely taste, so definitely not too much. We love some responsible drinking on this channel. So let's watch the music video for Lovesick Girls. Very like dreamy concept. Ooh. Oh wow. This is like, wow, I was just gonna say, like, this is much more emotional than I'm used to seeing from Blackpink's concepts. Normally they have this very like bad bitch energy exterior where like nothing can faze them. So it's interesting seeing like right off the bat that they are really feeling their feelings and talking about getting hurt and breaking down. So yeah, I'm kind of like taken aback already. I hate you in my pain state. Ooh. Oh, this is beautiful. Blackpink always have the most gorgeous music videos. Ooh. Ooh. Huh. Oh yeah, this very, yeah, it's very 2010s. The choreography is fun too. And it's like not a vibe that you would necessarily put with the lyrics, which is interesting. Normally this kind of vibe is really like a party song that doesn't have much depth to it, but this song like really does. And some of these lyrics are just so powerful, like love trapped us in a windowless room. Long for love even though it hurts every time. And we are the lovesick girls. You can't just end this love on your own. I'm nothing without this pain. But we were born to be alone. But why are we still looking for love? It's like, why do we put ourselves through this cycle when we know it's not going to end well? Oh, sorry, I just realized I forgot my side. There you go. And being the lovesick girls, it's like we keep putting ourselves through this because we have this disease. We keep looking for love even though we know it's not going to work out because we have this sickness that's infected us, which is like especially dark for 2020. So let's keep going.
No love letters, no X notes, no love, never my exes, no diamond rings that set in stone to the left, better left alone.
She always has like iconic raps. Ooh. They honestly both always have iconic raps. Ooh. There's this like cognitive dissonance going on of like this fun upbeat song, but the subject matter is like dark. That's what make it like that's what makes it so clever. And as always, the outfits are amazing. I love the colors. Oh my gosh. They are like acting the heck out of this. Ooh. This line, you pity me, but I pity you more for pitying me. Like, these lines though are amazing. Like, love is slipping and falling. Love is killing your darling. And they're like, throwing of the black paint. That fearless thrill returns once the pain subsides. And this line is amazing because they're just like, I'm owning my shit. So like, don't feel bad for me. If you feel bad for me, I feel bad for you, which is iconic behavior, truly. So this is just like such an interesting topic for a song. But it seems like they have each other, which is what's important. they look like they're happy despite everything. At least together. Maybe not so much when she's crying. Wow. That was amazing. And I think just showing off and cementing why they're so popular. Their songs and their music videos just like bring the drama, not just in terms of them being like excellent actresses, but also their songs just like they make an impact. And you know, this music video isn't something that I'm going to forget anytime soon. There's nothing forgettable about Blackpink, which is so hard to do in this world that we live in right now that is so saturated with so many K-pop artists. Like, standing out is already such a hard thing, but getting to the level that they are at is like a completely different thing. And it's nice to see that more like emotional side of Blackpink as well, because I think if they didn't do this type of music, that it would be harder to find them relatable. And I think that's why so many people connect with the artists that they connect with, is because they can relate to what they're talking about in their music. So while that aspirational type of thing of that bad bitch energy is really great, it's also important to show people that you do have that vulnerable and human side, because like who can't relate to getting their heart broken? And if even these ladies get their heart broken, then the rest of us have hope. Now at number 10 on our list, we have Goblin, Favorite Boys from A.C.E or A.C.E. It also showed up the same amount of times as Lovesick Girls at 6 out of the 10 lists, but it had a slightly higher average ranking at 15 compared to 20.2 for Lovesick Girls. And I think what made a big difference is that while only one list had Lovesick Girls at number 3 and the rest of the rankings weren't super high, K-pop had Goblin as number 2 on their list, and then Dazed has it as their number 1 song of 2020. So what did they have to say? I'm not going to read this whole thing because it's long, but they've said A.C.E excelled with last year's tumultuous rock-heavy approach on Undercover, and Goblin, Favorite Boys, which pulls double duty as a self-hype anthem and a Korean myth-inspired world-building tool, adopts similar stadium-friendly guitars and full-throttle percussion to set up what great K-pop is renowned for, a turbocharged thrill ride. Wow, sounds like we're in for a ride here. Megalithic pop songs are high risk, high reward, frequently in danger of collapsing under their ambitions, but from start to finish, Goblin stands tall, firing off one dazzling moment after the other, like a money gun with its trigger firmly stuck down. Oh, that sounds kind of amazing. But I do want to do a slight bit of research into A.C.E or A.C.E. I think it's just A.C.E if I'm to believe this K-pop profiles page. So they are a boy group consisting of 5 members: Park Joon-hee, Lee Dong-hoon, Wow, Kim Byung-kwan, and Kang Yu-chan. They're under Beat Interactive. I've never heard of Beat Interactive before. And debuted on May 23rd, 2017. So the day after my 25th birthday. So A stands for Adventure Calling Emotions, meaning that the group wants to cause emotions that urge people to go on adventures and make their dreams come true. Ooh. Oh, interesting. I, for some reason, would have thought that they would have been younger, but their oldest member was born in 1993, so only a year younger than I am. But you know what? I am all for groups debuting later in life. Like, debut at 24, yes, go for it. I couldn't imagine debuting as a teenager when I haven't even begun to form my identity and, you know, have all of the pressures being on you to be a K-pop idol at that age. So I am all on the train of idols should be adults when they debut. So, you know, seeing this makes me happy. So yeah, that Dazed article set the bar really high for what we're about to see here. So I'm excited and I'm ready for this onslaught of K-pop like they seem to be hinting towards. So let's watch the Goblin music video. This will be my first taste of A.C.E. My taste. That was bad. Oh, they put the members' names. That's helpful.
Okay, something like this.
Cool. red makeup. Yeah, they're those guitars they're talking about. Ooh. Ooh, do we have a rapper? Oh. Oh my gosh. There's multiple rappers. Okay. I'm here for that. Every group that that I follow, my bias is always a rapper without fail. And it's kind of amazing to me that in a group of 5 that there's 2 rappers. And, you know, maybe that's not their normal positions, but I would be here for if all 5 of them were rappers, honestly. I love a rapper. And they're also pretty. Oh. Oh. All these like colors and visuals are just... Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, it's definitely bringing the energy. And you know, it's also interesting to me as well when songs go to like 100 out of 100 in terms of that energy level, but it doesn't sound like just noise, like a wall of sound for 3 minutes straight. Like there's levels to it. And even though like that Dazed article said that it's at risk, a song is at risk when it brings that energy of just feeling like one note, like I really like the levels that the song is bringing and how they just like have you hanging on their every word. Like especially at the beginning, they're like, okay, it goes something like this part.
Okay, something like this.
And then just like, and this line of your pulsating heart, don't doubt it, like it's lean into this energy, this feeling, and like all eyes on me, if I pass by you sharply turn your attention. Like I certainly did, especially like with this visual that came up that's just like so feminine and beautiful. Like you can see the mascara and the lip gloss, and of course, you know, the hat. It's such a bold choice and it feels like a deliberate F you to any haters who try to put idols in like a gender box, especially with this line of I be the hater's secret favorite. I don't even know this group and I'm like, yes, I'm here for all of it. And you know, they're making some pretty bold statements in this song, like we take the lead, we are ahead, go, we're the kids like an echo, the fuss comes after us. So I feel like when you're saying those kinds of things, you have to be able to back up what you're saying, and from what I've seen so far, they can absolutely back it up because they're all just so like captivating. I was barely paying attention to to the lyrics at all because I was just so focused on their visuals and the like power of the song. And some of these outfits too, like the crop tops with this missing back, like, and as much as they're saying I'm a goblin, it's hard to imagine them as goblins because they're just like so beautiful. Like if they're a goblin, what does that make me? A drowned troll rat living 100 feet underground in the sewers. So yeah, let's keep going now. Let's see how this finishes. I can't roll my eyes. Ooh. Yeah. I'm loving these rappers. Cool. Does he have beads on his eyelashes? That's amazing. I would never think to do something like that. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm covered in goosebumps. I just like can't take my eyes away. Oh my gosh. This is so stunning. And it's wild because like their dance moves like come off as so masculine. It's, you know, the song does in a way too. They're such like an enigma. More. I need more. Like 11 million views, criminal. This needs 100 million views. And it's kind of hard to imagine them topping this. So part of me is like almost afraid to get into Ace more because I'm just like, we've peaked. And, you know, I say that knowing that there's likely a lot more where this came from. But yes, the fact that they are older, you know, my age, intriguing. The fact that they have 2 rappers out of 5 members, intriguing. That they have these beautiful, stunning visuals, yet bring this power. Beads on your eyelashes. Fascinating. And it just felt like every single shot in this music video was like a work of art. This like freaking gagged me. And these shots like, who gave them the right to be this beautiful? Like the nerve. And again, I was so distracted by the visuals that I didn't even focus on the amazing lyrics of your parched yearning. It's shaping itself before your eyes, baby. These flooding emotions. Now empty and pour it onto me. Like, you had me at parched, but really you had me from this gentleman. So yeah. That was iconic, and if you would like to see more Ace content, I'm 1000% here for it. So if that's the case, then let me know down in the comments, because that's the thing, is I don't know if you want to see more unless you tell me you want to see more. Next on our list, at number 9, we have Scream by Dreamcatcher, which is one of my favorite K-pop songs of all time. It is the song that introduced me to Dreamcatcher and kickstarted my standum that exists to this day, where none of the 6 publications ranked it super high. And it was actually the same Dazed article that had Goblin at number 1 that ranked it the highest out of any of the other publications at number 6. So they said, in sticking to their creative guns over the years, Dreamcatcher's sound has been painstakingly sharpened, and Scream thrusts its blade deep. They remain in control, wielding power through the force of their vocals and choreography as Scream pummels towards its outro, where they flip the scenario in this emotional juggernaut with the demand of everyone watch me and scream. It's just a truly iconic song because I feel like it brought Dreamcatcher to the next level in terms of their discography, where they upped the theatrics, they upped the drama, they upped the intensity, just that like triplet beat that just pounds throughout the chorus, the like do 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 do. It's so good, and it's a song that I will never ever get tired of. And they incorporated that rock sound that made Dreamcatcher, but like they said in their article, they just elevated it to that next level. So spoiler alert, this song is going to be in my top 10 tracks of 2020 in part 2. And will it be at number 1? I don't know. You'll just have to see. But if you would like to see my first time reaction to Dreamcatcher and to the song, then you can check that out right here. Next, at number 8 on our list, we have Dumhdurum, I don't know if I'm saying that right, by Apink. That is our first song on this list that came up 7 times out of the 10 lists, with an average ranking of 13.3, and the highest ranking being by Billboard, putting it at number 2 on their list. Now, Apink is a group that I'm not familiar with, so I'm going to do a little bit of research. So they're a South Korean girl group under IST Entertainment. Okay, I knew that sounded familiar. So they also manage The Boys and Weekly, who I have reacted to on this channel before. And they have 5 members: Chorong, Bomi, Unji, Namju, and Hayoung. They debuted on April 19th, 2011. Holy cow. I did not know that they've been around for that long. I've heard of Apink, but I did not realize that they had debuted more than 10 years ago. So again, I'm loving to see this early 90s baby representation on this list. At least I guess when you debuted that early that you're probably, you know, an early 90s baby like myself. Yes, March 3rd, 1991, Cho-rong, with the youngest member born in 1996. And according to Spotify, it looks like they're still making music to this day, so that's awesome that they're still active. So about the song, Billboard says K-pop tends to be a young person's game. Both the industry and its labels regularly shift their priorities to younger artists, but Apink's Dumhdurum makes an exceptional case for the continuing effort and investment in senior acts. Senior? That makes me feel so old. I'm a senior citizen. They detail the complexity of remaining calm in the presence of a past love, even when one's heart's still beating dum-dum for them. A concept that could be difficult for younger groups to believably pull off. Yes. I have noticed that across these top K-pop songs that I've reacted to, a lot of the artists or acts that appear in these lists tend to be more senior groups or tend to be brand new groups. Like there's very few in between that I've seen so far, because I think that maturity and that experience that comes across in a group sound just makes that much more impact. And then I think over time too, a group can better establish their identity and their USP per se. Like what makes this group unique and different compared to other groups. 9 years into their career, Apink are still more than equipped to bring their A game, and that deserves a larger recognition all in itself for the industry to pay equal attention to both its senior and developing artists. Matured musical magic awaits. Looking forward to it. So let's see what Apink is all about here with Dumhdurum. I like the shoes. Love a good block heel. And the colors. Ooh. They look so expensive. That's a fun synth melody. Ooh. I love these colors so much. Is that Versace? You don't know how scared I am. Ooh, the Chanel. You know what is interesting, because even though it does have that really bright sound, I definitely get what the author of that article was saying in terms of it having a more mature sound and feeling. And they all just look like works of art, like statues that you would find in a museum, a fashion museum, for sure. I feel like this concept as a whole, like not just the outfits and the aesthetic, but also just the song itself could swallow a rookie group whole, I feel like. Especially with this line, like, I've been masquerading, you don't know how scared I am. Like, if you were not looking at the lyrics, you would have no clue that they were feeling that way, because they are just exuding this energy of confidence and eloquence. They just seem like so unshakable on the surface. But then they say, my heart is like dum-dum, you letting my love fall apart left me, which is good for me. And I don't feel sad, I don't shed tears, my love is over. Of, you know, I'm not completely unshakable, but I'm not going to let this ultimately bring me down. I just like choked on my own voice. But yeah, all these fashion moments and every set piece is just like absolutely stunning. And I love a good jewel tone, and I feel like this video is bringing the jewel tones, so I'm here for it. Ooh. Oh, I love her voice. a second. Okay, yeah. For a second, I was like, wait, is there 6 of them? Because there's like an extra leg here. But I'm seeing now that I scrolled down the K-Profiles page, that there are 2 former members, but one that was still around at this time. Naun. Sorry, that was going to bother me. So let's keep going. They do sound more mature. But they pull off so many of these different aesthetics so well. It kind of feels like this song doesn't have any one hook. It's just like all the way through, it's consistently good. I love this dreaminess. It's talking about sleeping, listening to your voice. Ooh. I feel like this is a melody that can get stuck in your head so easily. And they're all just like so stunning. Ooh, yeah. I like this one. It's a super catchy song, like plain and simple. And I feel like that synth melody is something that even if you heard this song in 2020, you could still listen to today and it wouldn't get boring. And that's always something that I look out for, especially with songs that are getting into like a couple years old, is does it have that longevity? Does it have that staying power? Is it something I'm still going to be listening to 2, 3, 4, 5 years later? And this is a song that feels like it has that staying power, that there's kind of a timeless sound to it because of it drawing on those synths that almost have like late 2000s feeling to it. It's not a song that sounds like it could get stuck in 2020. It's a song that I would listen to it and I wouldn't know what year it was released. If you told me this came out in 2008, I would believe you. If you told me this song came out in 2023, I would believe you. And it's also, like this article mentioned, a very mature topic for a song, and it's addressed in a really interesting way, especially with this part of "Don't say I'm lying to you, I miss you every night. I would get to sleep listening to your voice. Even if time could heal everything, even if it could happen to me someday." It just feels like a mature decision that has been made of, even though I want you and I miss you, I can't go back to you because this relationship for whatever reason was not good for me, and I'm making the choice of what's good for me instead of what I actually want, which is a lot harder of a decision to make, I feel like, when you haven't had as much life experience and you haven't had all of those different relationships throughout your teens, throughout your 20s. So I can see why this appeared on so many lists, because I feel like this is not a song that's forgettable. This is a song that I imagine, even if you're not an Apink fan, that if you like this song, that you would still be listening to it in 2023. Now, next on our list, we have Pporappippam by Sunmi. I feel like 2020 was the year of sound effects as song titles, because this is not the last song that will appear on this list that basically is a sound effect or an onomatopoeia. Shout out to high school English for teaching me that word and still remembering it to this day somehow. So just like Dumhdurum, Pporappippam appeared on 7 lists, and quite a few of those lists ranked this song highly. 1 ranked it at number 3, 2 ranked it at number 2, and then K-Bopped put this song at number 1 on their list. So let's see what they had to say. So despite her rather scarce output, it's fair to say that Sunmi spent most of 2019 and early 2020 experimenting, but in June she finally returned to the sound she does best, 80s dance pop. Yes! I love a good 80s dance pop song. And in turn, we got this absolute masterpiece of a pop song. Her longing tone and ability to stretch her voice in such interesting directions truly allows Pporappippam to assert itself as 2020's masterwork. And I have reacted to one Sunmi song before on my channel, which is for a solo artist reaction that I did for my patrons who requested different songs from solo artists for me to react to. And that was You Can't Sit With Us, which was another kind of 80s synth pop song. And based on what that article talked about, that this is probably a lane that suits her really well, which I'm not mad at because, again, love a good 80s song. And is Pporappippam almost like, again, that onomatopoeia for the sound of maybe like a flute? I don't know. I'm curious to find out what this song is going to bring us. So let's watch the video for Pporappippam. Ooh. Oh boy. Just wash up on shore. So some flute here. Ooh. Those synths though. It does give a very like nighttime drive vibe. Pporappippam. Hey, I was actually saying it kind of right, I think. Ooh. Oh, I love those hats the dancers are wearing. It's so groovy. She looks like she's having fun with it. And I love that literally just listening to it for the first 90 seconds and I can already sing along. I love a song like that lets you in on what's happening with it. And I feel like the instrumental goes with the lyrics really well because it feels like one of those songs that's really fun to put on in the car when you're just like driving down the highway at night, and with lines like, I don't want anything else, this night is all I need, that it's like the soundtrack to a perfect night that you don't want to end. And I really love songs that just like fit that vibe. That was weird. Ooh. And that dress feels kind of 80s-ish. I like those drum horns, kind of. Ooh, I like she has male dancers now. Like switching it up. And that the choreography can be performed by both. Ooh. This is stunning. And I love all the levels and layers of this song. Ooh. And then a guitar solo, like... This really is like such a vibe though. And just like with the Apink song, it has a maturity about it, which is why I feel like the millennials were bringing it in 2020, where again, so many of these artists that have been on this list are like early 90s babies. And Sunmi and I were only born 20 days apart. And you know, I was talking earlier with the Apink song about how it's interesting that the lyrics and the vibe of the song and this like aura that they give off in the video, that you wouldn't know that they were feeling a certain type of way. But I kind of also like songs like in this case where the lyrics are exactly what you would expect with the vibe that the song has, and that both of those things could be done so well with these two songs like back to back. And I'm obviously incredibly biased, but I think that knowing your sound and what works for you is something that takes time to learn, and being in the industry for several years. And that's why so many of those millennial artists are showing up. And it seems like Sunmi has this like 80s synth pop market cornered, and that it works super well for her and her voice and the types of songs that she does. I just really enjoyed the lushness of this song, the different dynamics and phases of it, having the group of female backup dancers and then the group of male backup dancers and then them all coming together at the end. It really just does feel like a vibe. It feels like a fun time. And I'm here to hang out with Sunmi. Like, sign me up. I will wait for this night that I get to hang out with Sunmi and have an unforgettable time with her. All right, now our final song of this video, which I will not be reacting to because I have heard the song a bajillion times and have consumed every form of content possible around it, which is Black Swan by BTS, only narrowly beating out Pporappippam with an average ranking of 8.1 compared to 8.6. Both songs appearing on 7 out of the 10 lists. Now, Celeb Mix put Black Swan at number 1 on their list, but Metro UK only had a couple of appearances for this top 11, and the highest ranking for any of these songs was number 3, which is what they gave Black Swan. Also, I hate this website. So many ads, and they won't let you use it with an ad blocker. So they said launching their Map of the Soul 7 comeback with a somber pre-release was a risk following the heights of Boy With Love, but it paid off. The result is a stirring mix of strings and trap beats as the group reflect on what it means to be an artist. And if you had asked me in 2020 what my favorite song of 2020 was, I would probably have said Black Swan. But most of the K-pop songs from 2020 that I have now heard, I actually heard post 2020. So again, you'll have to wait and see where Black Swan will fall in my top 10 next week, but it is going to be there because this song is just so stunning from start to finish. Those muted strings throughout, the absolutely beautiful choreography. I know that the choreography has nothing to do with the song itself, but I feel like it was such a different direction for BTS that did feel like such a heel turn from Boy With Love. And I'm always fascinated when a group can cross so many genres in one song and it sounds so cohesive. Like, I feel like those strings and a trap beat you would think do not go together, but they do, and they do so flawlessly. And there are some really beautiful and unique vocal melodies on this track. Melodies I don't think I would have ever thought of that would work in a song, but they do it so well and it works so well. So the first time I heard the song, I was just so captivated, and I think for weeks and weeks and weeks it was just on repeat over and over until Map of the Soul 7 came out. And Map of the Soul 7 is one of my favorite K-pop albums of all time. So part of me is honestly kind of shocked that it's not higher than number 6 on this list. But you know, some of the songs that I know that are on this list and do rank higher why does this keep happening? Just choking on my own voice, on my own saliva. It's been an evening. But again, I understand why some of these songs that I have heard that are in the top 5 are there, but I wish selfishly and, you know, subjectively that Black Swan could be up there with them. But I will settle for it being at number 6 if it means not being at the list at all. But friends, thank you for joining me for part 1 of this reaction. I'm very, very much looking forward to reacting to the top 5 here, where, spoiler alert, 2 of the songs out of the 5 I have heard before, but 3 of the songs I have never heard. So it's going to be a first time reaction to 2 of the artists that will be on this list. And I'm very curious to hear how all of these amazing songs that I listened to today can be topped. So definitely make sure that you're subscribed so that you'll be notified as soon as I upload part 2. And I would love to hear from you in the comments about what you thought about these songs. Were you surprised that they showed up in the top 11? Not surprised at all? Do you think maybe they would rank higher? What would be in your top 10 songs of 2020? Let me know all of your thoughts down in the comments. Hope to hear from you and hope to see you in part 2. But until then, hope you're doing well, staying safe, taking care of yourself, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day.